Welcome to the Chew on This podcast. Join your host, Dr. Katie Chew, and her guests as they chew on what matters, one story at a time.
Well, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Chew on This podcast. And I'm your host, Dr. Katie Chew. And today we have a wonderful guest, Mark Saad. How are you?
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, yeah. So today is a Wednesday, I believe. Yes, it is.
It's moving along.
Where did you have to drive from
to
to be here?
I drove this morning from my home in Las Vegas. So that desert drive from Las Vegas to Southern California, I actually, as long as you don't pick the wrong traffic day, it could actually be pretty.
So how fast did you get here?
I want to say it was about 4 hours.
4 hours?
Ish.
Well, I thank you.
We were moving. Yeah.
So I thank you.
Yeah, but my company that is in not too far away in San Diego, so I do come and visit.
So after this, I think you still have to drive at least
more,
2 hours.
A little more,
At
yeah.
least 2
That's
hours,
good,
right?
yeah.
In that direction.
Exactly.
So why don't you go ahead and tell my guest, my followers, a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So I am the CEO of a company called NuLIDS. NuLIDS is a company that itself was founded by an ophthalmologist in Hawaii named John Okowski, a wonderful man, inventor, and he created a handheld product that works great for doctors or their staff to enhance the ocular wellness of their patients.
Yeah.
And so I've come along to try to help make that become more accessible, more prevalent within the eye care community. And so it's been a real adventure, but a joyous adventure to build that.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit from what I have gathered about from our conversations over these last few months. I would say that in a way you may disagree, but you're a little bit of a dream maker because this was a dream project for the ophthalmologist, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think this is something where I'm starting to learn more about your product. And that is something where I do believe that it is something where we were talking about this earlier. It really should be part of the primary care of all of our patients when they come in for an eye exam once a year, right? And so, yeah, I'm excited to embark on that part of my practice because that is something where in terms of dry eye treatment, we were talking about this. This is more being proactive.
Absolutely.
And it's before the patients present with symptoms, right?
Exactly.
And it's for all ages.
Really
right?
important.
Yeah.
Especially that. No, you're hitting all the heavy points that are my.
I was listening.
Those are my whys. Those are my big whys. Why is this so important that we get doctors to look at this differently, think differently, understand the prevalence differently, especially with kids?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to embrace this technology, at my practice. And the main reason is because, and I think I told you this before, you are not the first person that has approached me and my practice in terms of ways in which we can help patients with dry eye symptoms. But I think, to be honest with you, I think this is the first time where I actually do believe in the product. And that's why I'm excited to put this into effect, make my patients' lives better by improving the condition of that front surface, because we take it for granted. People forget that the tear film is also a part of our immune system, right? And so if we can also help kids who are in all kinds of environments, right?
Staring at screens, however many hours and not blinking, and
it'll actually prevent a lot of other types of ocular surface disorders that will be, further along the way. So, okay, I know that we are here to do the hard chews and the soft chews. Yeah. You have the soft chews in front of you.
Okay.
Since you are my guest, I am going to have you draw from the soft chews first. They're technically supposed to be easier. It hasn't always happened that way. But we're gonna.
I'm nervous nonetheless. Well, I will pause. The image that I had in mind, I don't know, you used a very generous word that you gave me, visionary, or I think the word you gave me.
A dream maker.
A dream maker. That feels, I don't know if I've earned that. What I feel like, the analogy I most oftentimes come to is one of our favorite Dr. Seuss movies, Horton Hears a Who.
Oh, yes.
I feel like I'm Horton.
You feel like you're Horton.
I think I'm Horton. I feel like I'm carrying this little flower of opportunity to help, the public health side, but also help providers, and it does feel like that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I use that word dream maker is because, a lot of times we do it for our own dreams, but for you to help somebody else with their dream, that's huge.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I mean, we're at a point where, your why has, we're to be in a fortunate position where your why has to be for something that's bigger than yourself. And I really believe that.
Yeah.
So.
And I just want to let you know, I noticed that. So.
Thank you.
All right, here we go.
You.
Soft chew.
All right, let's go. Okay. What's a random skill you have that people wouldn't expect?
Do you have the answer?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Having children who are now late teenagers, but earlier on, especially during COVID, one of the things that we really enjoyed doing was camping and RVing. And so we've had every type of RV, I think. We've had a class.
During the COVID
Just
period?
during the...
Or just when they were
probably
growing
during
up?
the 10-year period.
Okay.
And anyone who knows the RV world knows everything's a compromise.
Okay.
You either have something very large that feels very wonderful and spacious, but you're really stuck, or you get something very small that's nimble and you get anywhere, but then you're really
cramped.
And so each one has their own idiosyncrasies. So from a big bus to a trailer to an Airstream to a Sprinter van, so there are certain things about RVing, whether it's dealing with the all the plumbing, or the, in terms of the, all the systems, I've had to become adept at handling all those. So I think for someone who was in, just a New York City investment banker for a lot of part of my life,
very urban living,
where my hands are not your hardworking hands,
yes.
I've had to become, I think, pretty adept at, all the RVing skills. So I think that would still apply as life goes on.
Well, I was going to say that's quite important, especially if you are out in the boonies and there's no mechanic or anybody near. So yeah, I hope they appreciate that you have that talent. I'm gonna have to read that question again.
Oh yes, for you as well.
Let me see what's a random skill you have that people wouldn't expect. I think for me, a random skill, I always feel like I'm one of the earlier Pinterest people, because I can take a random object and and repurpose it, if that makes sense. Like something where someone else will think it's trash or junk, I'll find a repurpose for it. And so I have pitched this to one of my friends who works at a movie studio, and I'm like, wouldn't it be nice if I can have a show where it's called The Repurposeful Life?
That's really catchy. I like that. And I'm trying to think, have I seen something like that before? That sounds pretty original.
I don't know, but I'm thinking that I would go into somebody's home, right?
Okay.
And instead of doing the remodeling portion of what we all see in these home improvement shows, I will go into their home and find things where normally they would just see it as junk and turn it into something fabulous.
So that's really cool. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Is there an example that jumps out in your mind of like a situation where maybe it would surprise you what A was used for in a B? I mean.
Yeah. Well, for example, like sometimes people will throw away old window panes. And so it's kind of like dumpster diving a little bit. So you have like a window pane, and so that would be seen as, junk, or they're gonna, and I would just salvage it and then make it into like a wall art. But I think the best place to put a window pane is actually in the bathroom, because the bathroom is always the smallest room in the house. So when you take a window pane and you put it on the wall that's right behind the toilet, and you put curtains around it, it actually makes it feel like it's a larger room.
Absolutely. No, that's really cool.
Yeah. Or
I'm going to have to talk to my wife about that.
Or putting a spigot onto like a old barrel or something and then just putting that as a wall hanging in your kitchen, and it looks kind of
absolutely.
cool.
No,
And you could
that's
put
great.
little two bistro chairs, a little table, and then have grapes hanging off of it. I don't know, but those are the things.
That was original, which is very cool. I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I think my mind kind of works that way. I just turn anything that other people see as junk, I can just repurpose it. So, all right, those were 2 answers to a soft shoe. I'm gonna pull my hard shoe out. What's something you carry with you that others don't see?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go
Please.
with this one.
Yeah.
So the way I'm gonna answer it today might be different if this question was posed to me a few years back. But I'm gonna say that it's my faith that people don't see, because for the longest time, I didn't even know what to believe in. And all the things that had happened in my life in terms of challenges, I saw them more like just another thing that was happening in my life. Couldn't really explain it. But now I see it so clearly that each of those challenges was put before me as a reason. It's a purpose for me to prove my faith, and that I understand that these are all trials for a reason. And so, so that's what people don't see, because I don't necessarily talk about it. And in recent years, I have been more open about my faith. So that's where I am.
Wow, that's really powerful. So I have to go with the first thing that came to mind, which may not be succinct. And I guess, so I'm the youngest of my family by a considerable margin. Very accomplished siblings and wonderful parents, so can't be more thankful. But as the youngest, in some ways, the least is expected of you, maybe. And
so you're the baby.
I am the baby, and so with highly accomplished siblings, and so but my dad, who was an immigrant and incredibly brilliant and hardworking and gracious man. It's hard for me to talk to him. I rarely talk about him because he's passed. But
and I'm so I think you mentioned to me earlier. Where did he immigrate from?
So he grew up under British occupation during World War II in Palestine, and so he immigrated right after World War II. And then my mom was from a farm in Idaho, and they met at University of Nebraska.
I love it.
Course. So it's always crazy.
I love it.
Crazy stories. So. But he was just incredibly gracious man, a wonderful American in terms of embracing the culture here. And so I carry with me an idea of what I think he would want me to be. So.
Nice. When you talk about your father, it's like, it's the same thing. In my family, there are people that have passed, and it's like, especially my grandmother. My grandmother, every time when I think about her, it's just, it's all fondness.
Yeah.
Not that she was perfect, but those are the memories. Those are the memories that I remember her just being so tender. Yeah. And sometimes I wish some of my other relatives have, taken on some of that trait. But that is a sweet tenderness that I do miss from my grandmother. And so,
yeah, absolutely.
All right, soft shoe, your turn.
Oh, yeah, it's fire away.
Your mother was from Idaho?
Yes.
Nice.
Farm girl from Idaho. She's 99 years old.
Wow.
And still.
In Idaho?
No, the family went to East Coast, but my siblings, I get it back there as much as I can, but my siblings do an amazing job with her. What do you enjoy discovering about people when you meet them for the first time?
What do you enjoy discovering about people when you meet them for the first time?
I guess the way I would say this is that my mindset when I meet people is it just has always been this way. Even though I think maybe it's society or maybe instinctiveness or whatever, sometimes people will just make assumptions about people that they haven't met based on any number of things, you know. And so I have tried intentionally not to do that. So in answering the question, what do I enjoy discovering? As much as, you know, it seems like I can be self-absorbed in whatever matters to me, I try really hard to get out of my own perception and into perspective of the other person, and not come at a situation with preconceived assumptions, but rather try to understand who that person is based on what that interaction says, rather than coming at it with assuming this or that. And that might not sound very I don't know, interesting, but it's I feel like there is a distinction in getting out of the box of your perception of your you know, and
oh, absolutely. I mean, as I'm listening to you, it is true. It is better for us to remove those assumptions as we're starting to get to know somebody, right?
Yeah.
And I think the answer to this question for me, I think, what do I enjoy discovering about people when I meet them for the first time? What I love is that it's not so much about the meeting itself, but what I find about myself in having curiosity of asking questions, because I feel like by asking questions, it allows them to share, right? And it's the same thing. It's like, I don't want to come off in a meeting where I'm already closed off, right? And so the best way to get to know somebody is to ask questions, right? And to be curious, and hopefully they'll feel the same, and then we'll end up having a beautiful conversation, right? Yeah. I think that's how we kind of met too. Was there was some curiosity about, you know, what I do, what you do, and I think we kind of like ended up not bumping into each other, but that was how we got started in our conversation. Was why didn't we bump into each other? And it was at one of the conferences. Right.
I knew of you, and then I saw very late at that conference that, oh shoot, you were there.
Yeah.
And I was so busy in what I was doing. I said, oh shoot, I missed this great opportunity, because I love that you provide a much more, you know, high level perspective on this whole industry and beyond that in terms of.
I thank you. And for you say a high level perspective, I don't even know, for me, from my perspective, whether or not it's a high level of perspective. I just feel like I'm offering a little bit of coming at from a different angle, right? And my angle really is about learning about the people in our industry for who they are in a very authentic manner, right? And that's why I always felt like this platform for the podcast, it really gives us the opportunity. I mean, it sounds silly that we're pulling soft shoes and hard shoes, but it really gives us the opportunity to kind of break some of that ice sometimes we build up, and to start learning a little bit more about our authentic selves, right?
Absolutely.
And so, but yeah, that's how I'm going to answer that.
Very cool. Got a hard one coming up?
Yes. Thank you for keeping me on track.
I'm
in
trouble.
No, sometimes so let's see, and they're kind of wadded in here. Oh no. All right, here we go. I'm just going to pull this one. There's several here. What moment in your life quietly changed you forever? What moment in your life quietly changed you forever?
There's so many. I'm trying to think, and I just, there's some ones I'm sure your audience probably relates to very, very obvious. I mean, the most obvious ones are moving from, you know, young adult, where you're very self-absorbed with your career and whatnot, and then becoming married and having that commitment to somebody, of course, and then having your children, as you know, takes it to a whole nother level. So your sense of purpose and responsibility, and, you know, I think for every father or mother has to change quietly from that. That's, I don't want to say something that's just so easy. There are other, so I think that's the obvious one.
Okay, so I'm going to put it on you.
Yeah.
Pick one. I'm just kidding.
Well,
no, because I'm sitting here going, I have a lot. I don't know which one to pick.
Right.
So I'm buying myself time as you're talking. It's hard, right? What moment in your life quietly changed you forever?
Well, I'll say something, because I think those ones are so expected.
Mm-hmm.
I'll share one that's not maybe as
Okay.
expected.
I think that's what I'm going to try to do too.
And so it was probably 30 years ago when I held my rejection from Harvard Business School.
Oh.
And I think I saved that letter. It's somewhere. I've saved it, right? And I thought I had done the things, and I thought at that time in my life that was going to be my definition of success,
Mm-hmm.
and why that was going to be such a great thing. In retrospect, I'll never say I was happy I wasn't, but I understand why it wasn't. And I think that moment helped me absorb what at the time was a big loss. In perspective, I realize, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
But it also helped define me in terms of what I would do to be successful. Not successful just from the sense of career and economics, but in terms of what matters, in terms of what do you want to achieve in your life, helping others, creating an impact. And so it's taken me many years, obviously. But I do feel like
it's the wisdom that we've inherited as we get older.
And
That's how I see it.
For sure. And we say, there's, so was it good judgment comes from experience comes from bad judgment. I've heard that one.
Yes, I have heard that one.
But yeah, so I think that one might not be as expected, but I do feel like quietly, it's like
it changed who you are a little bit,
right?
It
did, and I think I've used that constructively.
And how many years ago was that? I'm still trying to understand how old you are because
I'm 56.
Oh,
so
I am older. I'm going to be 58 this year.
Okay, all right. Well,
yes.
I'm 56 and a half. So, but yeah, so that was 30 years ago.
Okay, I'm still quietly sitting here trying to figure out what is the one moment, because there's tons, that changed me forever. I think that the passing of my therapist changed me. I don't know about forever, but for right now, I can say forever. Because all those years of going through therapy and then finally finding that one person that actually was able to get to me, she really helped me understand that I can do hard things. For the longest time, I felt that I was, not that I was incapable, but I wasn't worthy of doing hard things. And so that was the end of 2023 is when she passed. And I think since then, I've just really tried to remember her words to me. And she used a lot of humor during our therapy sessions, but they were always to shine light on what I couldn't see yet. And so she was my biggest cheerleader. And so I guess how she changed me is that right now, everything that I do, I quietly, kind of like ask her or let her know that, hey, look at me, I'm doing all the hard things that you've always said I could do.
Wow. Yeah.
And so people don't know that, but she was a great person.
Sounds like it.
She was a great person.
Well, and it sounds like her impact has continued, and you've
Yeah.
continue to draw from it, even though it's unfortunate, of course, that she's not able to see your realization of a lot of those lessons. But,
well, she was a believer, and so when I say that, I just know that she is looking down
for sure.
at
Absolutely.
me from heaven.
Absolutely.
And but yeah, I owe a lot to her for the way I've embraced the hard things.
Yeah.
And so
incredible.
this technically was one of the hard things, the podcast.
Right.
And so I've been so committed in doing it every Thursday. I have a new one launched every Thursday since December 5th of last year. And we're already, we're already getting closer to fourth quarter. Are we in fourth quarter? No, we're still in third quarter.
No, we're still third. Yeah. But it's
like I said,
fast.
the whole year.
It's a blink.
Okay, that was what? That was a hard chew.
Okay.
You do a soft.
Let's go for it. Yeah.
And I think after this one, we'll do
Okay.
one more of
Okay.
the hard, and we'll be done.
Okay.
What's this one? Uh-oh.
What's a favorite way you like to start your day? Okay. This is, so perspective, it's summer.
Yes.
Kids are
At home.
but they're not, there's no more racing them to school and all that.
Yeah.
So I do get up, of course, I do pretty early. So we have dogs, so I'll get up, I'll go out to the pool, and I'm in Las Vegas in the sort of the hills, so it's, so that the sun starts coming in, but I'll just try to get my early sun. I'll skim the pool for 30 minutes, and yes, I'm moving around doing that, but what I'm really doing is kind of just getting my mind right. And it's activity that I can do that's not strenuous. Yes, I'm trying to grab every little speck I can find, but it's more about just being outside, breathing, trying to process just everything, and quietly, just in my own little way, but being outside, and I don't have to. There's not much you have to do it, but
well, it's interesting because you were
the
saying
dogs usually roaming around me, and it's just kind of I feel like they've got my little pack there, and we're having a quiet time. We're having a good time.
well, and you were talking about skimming your pool, and that was your way of also allowing yourself to think about your day, right? And organizing your thoughts and all that. I actually do that when I'm making soup. I love making soups. But the whole skimming of the top part of the soup, all the oil or any type of sediments or whatever you call it, that ends up floating on the top of the soup. That's the same thing that I would do. I'm not daydreaming. I'm actually thinking about what am I going to be doing tomorrow or something like that. But what I like to do in the morning is, it's quite simple, is making a cup of coffee. The first thing I do when I get out of bed, is going straight to the coffee maker and making myself a cup of coffee. And that really does set the tone for the rest of the day, because it provides a calmness that I need. And I don't know if it's because of the caffeine, but I also feel like, just more ready. If I don't have my cup of coffee that morning, I do feel like a sense of like I'm lost. It's kind of strange.
Totally. It's
like a brain fog.
It's powerful, yeah.
It's like a brain fog where you feel like, what am I supposed to do? What did I just think of the other, but if I have my cup of coffee, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Well, I have learned, and this is not by no means is any kind of recommendation, but that was where I was.
You stopped drinking coffee?
No, God,
okay,
no.
You still need your coffee.
Oh yeah,
okay.
But what I've read is that even just being up and outside and having some activity as a bit of a time gap between that coffee.
Oh, before the first cup?
So that part of why I do that is to buy myself some time.
Okay.
Because otherwise I would do that. I would race to the machine.
Interesting.
So, but I'm not here to
advocate
or anything. I'm just saying that is one of the reasons that I found it's given me that little time
boost
gap.
or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the last one. Right. Are you ready?
No.
Hopefully, it won't be a scary one. I know. What did you say earlier? I'm scared. You're not the first. No, you're not the first person
I'm
that
telling
has
you, there's
said.
one. I knew it was going to happen. I never. It's like I don't talk about my dad, not for any bad reason. It's just I can't think of him without it hitting me. And so when
I
that
did
question,
see that you got a little bit
it
emotional.
did. And when the question hits there, I'm like, shoot. It's got the first thing that's in my mind, my dad.
Yeah.
I can't talk about my dad without feeling that.
Yeah.
So
well, you
anyway,
did a great job.
I tried, but not.
You did a great job. All right.
Yeah.
What's something you had to unlearn about yourself? To unlearn.
Can you help me with
I think what it's asking is, what is something that you had told yourself or somebody else had told you about yourself that you now have realized you need to unlearn? This one I can answer.
Please, yeah.
It's heavy though. It's heavy. So whenever it's a heavy thing, I try not to go too much into it. I'm just gonna, not that I'm trying to skirt around it, but it is heavy, and it is important to share this because we have to be careful when we're parents When I was little, my mother used to tell me that I was unlovable. Okay? She said it in different words, but basically, that's what she was telling me, that I was unlovable. And, so even as a little girl and growing up, that that's not true, but you still believe it. It's strange. I mean,
Well, especially if it's someone that close to you.
Well, yeah. But the balance was that everyone else in my family, they were very loving, and they always supported me with affection and support in everything. So I've had that to balance me out. But what I've had to unlearn as an adult is that what my mom has said to me, that she's no longer in control, if that makes sense, of me. I'm the one that's in control of my life. And so whatever words that she had used at me, it's not going to affect me, not anymore. And that's what I've had to unlearn.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I just said it's heavy.
Yeah.
But I am sharing it because parents, sometimes out of anger or maybe other issues, but sometimes we may say things that, we regret saying it to our children, but we have to remember that it's going to stay with them for the rest of their lives. So words do matter.
For sure.
Words do matter.
For sure.
So
No,
I know I threw a heavy
the words
one.
to yourself. Wow. Well, so mine might be a little bit lighter.
It's okay.
In that, I think going back to what I'd said before, and this isn't something I consciously think about, but I mean, being the baby, being the youngest, and not that people didn't have expectations for me, but it just, there's certain, privileges or just acceptance you get as the youngest. And while it was never told to me, maybe just because things were easy. I grew up, I know things were easy for me in a lot of ways. The challenges and the building a company, business challenges for my parents and all that were during tougher times for my older siblings. By the time I came around, things were pretty easy. Life was, and so
like the foundation was already
foundation was there,
and
and so not having grown up in hard times and having, like I said, just just the good fortune. I think that I believe I've had to unlearn that sort of coasting approach to life. And somewhere along the way, it clicked for me in different stages. I think it's gone debatably too far. I feel like sometimes I'm so obsessed, honestly not for personal gain, but for achieving things for causes. So if you stick me on a cause, I almost feel like it's at the detriment of other things. I'm so focused. And so I do try. I've had to unlearn that coasting mentality. And now I'm hoping that I'm applying it, in the best way possible. But I can definitely do a lot better, in balancing or other things like that.
Well,
but
I think it's because you've learned to not take it for granted. That, things might have been easier, but at the same time, you realize that you have to still put in that effort, that work. Even if you take over something, that the foundations are there, you still have to be the person that keeps the foundation, stable and solid and all that. So, yeah, I think that's it just came in different phases?
It did come in different phases. Like I think one phase hit during college at a certain level, and then I feel like there are different points where it leveled up. And I think so in me was something that, as I recognized that, time is not infinite, and that's a recognition that comes as you get into
Do you feel like as we get older, or get it more into these golden years, that you kind of want to leave a legacy?
Of course.
Yeah.
And
that's
again,
all I think about now, is what kind of footprint or fingerprint or what kind of imprint I'm going to leave on the next generation, right? And so I have to be very careful with, the things that I say or that I do, because I want to leave a positive impact, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
for sure. So there is definitely that as well. So sometimes I don't know. I don't explain it so well sometimes, but that is, I think, my.
No, I think you explained it very well.
Right. So.
All right, so are we going to call this a wrap?
Yes, thank you so
Okay,
much.
because I need you to get back onto the
Yes,
road.
thank you so much.
So again, I want to thank all my followers for being here today with us. And always remember to live life purposefully, see things ever so clearly, and always lead boldly. So until next time, see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.